If you want to fund it directly using your Coinbase account, right now we're actively developing a wallet.fund function that'll pull money from your Coinbase account to fund this agent. If you're surfacing it directly to your users, and for some reason you want your users to interact with the agent, you can use the new Coinbase on-ramp that has an Apple Pay integration to deposit up to $500 in USDC completely fee-free.
This content is brought to you by VeChain, which is a leading enterprise-grade Layer 1 public blockchain spearheading a digital revolution from a sustainable, highly scalable smart contract platform. The VeChain blockchain has many unique features, which makes it an ideal choice for Web3 applications. VeChain is working with many great enterprises such as PwC, Givenchy, BMW, and Walmart China. Most recently, they partnered with the Boston Consulting Group to build a revolutionary decentralized application ecosystem. I'm a big believer in this project. I have been since 2018. I've been a VET token holder for years. And this blockchain is highly scalable, great with security and speed, and it has low energy consumption. If you'd like to learn more about VeChain, please visit vechain.org. Link will be in the description. Welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast. I'm your host, Tony Edward, and my guests today are Dan Kim, Head of Business Development at the Coinbase Developer Platform, and Lincoln Murr, who's a Product Manager for the Coinbase AgentKit. Gentlemen, great to have you on.
Great to be back.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dan, as you said, great to be back because we did an episode just about a month ago with Namil, and we talked about Coinbase AI agents and the great work you guys did there in facilitating the first payment between AI agents. And today we're going to walk through how this technology can be used to help creators and expanding the creator economy and much more.
Yeah, I think one of the conversations that I love to have in crypto and now in crypto and AI is, hey, the technology is great, but how can it really help people today? And how can it make impact? And one of the areas that we identified where this can happen is in the creator economy. Anybody who is developing content and publishing it to an audience and trying to really develop strong engagement and relationships with those fans. At some point, there's only so much an individual can do. And when you try to outsource that to what I'll call unintelligent bots, those conversations become very stale, right? It's like kind of talking to a chatbot from the 90s. I think now with AI and just the advancements of these agents that can actually be super smart and insightful, it gives creators a very interesting opportunity to replicate themselves in a way, especially in a world where we're working from home and we're really spending more time chatting and on screens than in real life. Imagine a world where an AI agent can replicate your personality and the way you talk and have meaningful and authentic engagements with your audience members. And then add on top of that, all the things that crypto and blockchain can do. If you give that agent a wallet and the ability to transact, imagine all the cool stuff you can do bilaterally, right? It could be you sending a creator sending NFTs to fans, or even fans donating money to their favorite creators, right? So it's a pretty interesting area that I think is growing very quickly, and I'm glad Lincoln's here today to kind of show us how that would work for a creator.
Yeah, it's a brave new world, and I'm going to be the crash test dummy here, right, Lincoln? You're going to create maybe an agent for me, and I'd love for you to share your screen and walk through that process so folks can learn about it.
Yeah, totally. I took some of your old videos and your tweets to help make a personality. I call it GP Tony. So I'll go ahead and share my screen here and show you what we've been working on. So do not be alarmed. I'm not coming for your job, but this is a pretty interesting agent that'll show exactly how you could build your own sort of, agent that can talk to your community, facilitate engagement, and generally act as an assistant to help both you simplify the content that you put out and use the existing content you have to create new ideas and insights, and for your creators to get in touch with you and the way that your mind works without having for you to interact directly with every one of them. So can you see my screen right now?
Yep.
Fantastic. I'll go ahead and show you a demo first of what this does, and then we can dive into the code in a way that's understandable for everyone. I want AgentKit to be as easy as possible for anyone to use. So whether you're a creator, an artist, an entrepreneur, no matter what you do, even if you've never coded before, it's going to be extremely easy for you to get started to build your own AI agent with access to a crypto wallet through CDP. So we have two modes in which you can run these agents. We have a chat mode where you can basically talk to your agent and let it do things for you. And we have an autonomous mode, which basically tells your agent to run off and do whatever it thinks is best. I'll run it in chat mode for the purpose of this demo. And like I said, I've taken a lot of your old videos and scripts and tweets and put them into this bot so we can get some pretty interesting insights from you. I know you've been posting a bit about, oh, go ahead.
Oh, how did you import that data? Did you use like the respective captions and just the text itself?
Yeah, exactly. So I have 7 scripts here as well as your most recent tweets. And as you can see, I just took exactly what you wrote about Gary Gensler, for example, from those closed captionings and put it into the script and told the agent, here you go. This is some of Tony's thoughts, his opinions, and use this to come up with different insights and innovations. So I'll show you a bit about how this works. I'll zoom in as well so you can see this a little bit better. Let's start by tell me a bit about what Tony thinks about Gary Gensler. So it's going to go off, it's going to think, and it's going to say you have a strong negative opinion and you refer to him as a scumbag regulator. So yeah, it's going to say exactly what you have previously said about it and add in its own insights. It can also tweet on your behalf. I was playing around with this earlier and X got a little bit mad at me for building out an agent and starting to do things immediately. I thought it was a bot, but you could do something like post a quick tweet about his thoughts on Gary from his perspective. And you'll see the tweet that it would write. It's not going to work exactly because I've had some issues with the Twitter APIs. I said, oh, looks like it did work. Perfect. So I'll show you what I've been working on here. GPT Tony, I'd like to introduce you to.
I love it.
So I put your face on a cyborg here and started posting some tweets. Did this over the past couple minutes. I had the agent set up to just run autonomously and every 10 minutes post something. So example we see here, Gary Gensler's a scumbag regulator. We saw previously he was doing some bull posting around XRP. So a lot of different ways that this agent can work.
Wow. That's incredible. And tell us about the platform you're using to do this. It looks like it's Replit, if I'm saying that right.
Yeah, Replit. So yeah, one of my favorite things about the whole AI revolution is it's made it so easy to start coding and spinning up agents and doing all sorts of fun stuff. Previously, before Replit and these AI tools existed, if you wanted to run an agent like this, you'd have to download a bunch of code, write it yourself, handle this whole process for you. But we've actually created a template on Replit where all you have to do is click Use Template, create a name for it, click Use here, and it'll open up a page for you that looks something like this, where you have all the different code that you need. All you need to do to get it started is just click this big green run button at the top, and it'll go ahead and start running for you. There's a couple other steps here around provisioning specific keys and authentication so that it has access to things like your Twitter and the ability to interact with Coinbase, but it's quite literally this simple. And from here, you can use this as your wallet. You could use this to run autonomously and do whatever you want. The possibilities are truly endless. And if you know a little bit of coding information, you can start to add features in extremely easily.
So for the autonomous mode, so to speak, I can set that to tweet for me and go do other things and post on different platforms.
Yeah, exactly. You can set it up so that every 10 seconds or so, it decides to run and do some sort of activity, whether that be create an NFT, post on Twitter, pretty much whatever you can imagine. Search the internet. Look, it doesn't have a balance right now to deploy an NFT. So what it's probably going to do here in the next 10 seconds is call funds from the faucet, since this is all on testnet, so that it can then go out and deploy. So it's smart enough to know all these different things and go through the process. Yeah, exactly. Received ETH from the faucet. So yeah, it can pretty much do whatever you want.
Wow. Can it create video as yet, or is that too early?
So it can create videos if you interact with some sort of video creation AI. For example, I think Stability has one, and OpenAI's Sora is coming out soon. It has the ability to create images right now, but adding in the ability for videos would be quite literally a 5-minute process. In our documentation, we have a page just around adding agent capabilities with a video to walk you through how to do it. And literally just a prompt here where, let's see where this is, somewhere in here. Yeah, a prompt that you can just copy and paste into ChatGPT, whatever you want. Tell it what you want it to add in this text as well, and it will create that agent with that specific capability for you.
Wow. Pretty incredible stuff. I definitely want to use this. I want to test it out and make maybe video reels or shorts for YouTube and social media. And I think that would definitely help me out in creating content, speed up the process, and save me a lot of time. So I definitely want to test that out.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting things you could do as well, where you could have your community start to create content for you, tag GPT Tony in the bot and in the tweet itself, and then the agent will autonomously send them a thank you NFT or some sort of video
Wow.
recognizing their contribution. The on-chain engagement and fan creation that you can start to have gets very, very powerful very quickly.
Amazing.
Tony, the power of AgentKit is if there's a service that's available via API, whether it's a video rendering service or even a voice rendering service, it'll work with it. When we were at DEF CON this year, we actually spent some time training an AI agent for an influencer in Korea. And we took a lot of his voice samples and basically added that to the agent. So it was a really cool way to bring an agent to life.
Very cool. So to confirm, the main platform for this all to function or get it started is the Replit. And tell us about security, like in securing that account. So let's say I have that account, right? And I'm a creator, and I don't want anyone else to get access to it. Talk to us about securing that account.
Yeah, great question. So one of the beauties of Replit is that it stores all of your secrets for you such that nobody can get access to any of this data. It additionally, too, since it's using the Coinbase developer platform and our MPC wallets, which are multi-party computation, the private key is completely secured as long as you don't lose access to your Coinbase authentication keys.
Hmm.
So as you can see here, down in the corner, we have the secrets part. And this is where all of the information and all of the passwords that I have are stored. So if I showed you these, you could then go off and steal my funds. But since they're securely kept inside my Replit account and they are put in a private Replit, they're completely secure. If you want to do this in production, it's definitely recommended that you go through the traditional route of creating a server and going through the process of setting up more secure practices. But for the purposes of demo and testnet and generally getting started, Replit is a fantastic place for low code or even no code builders to start to use agents.
Hmm. And then the wallet that's created, and this is a newbie question. So I have a Coinbase account. I have Coinbase One. I trade, I buy, sell, and so forth, right? Um, when a wallet's created, is it attached to my personal Coinbase account, or can I bridge it? Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so every single agent has its own wallet. We believe that every AI agent deserves a wallet so that it has access to payment rails, data transfer rails, permissionless cross-borderless activity that you simply can't get with a bank account. So every time you spin up an agent, it has associated with it a wallet. We'll see what this agent's wallet is, and it'll tell us it's on the base Sepolia network, so the testnet, and this is its address. If we look this up, we could see all of the different interactions and transactions that your agent is taking. If you want to fund it directly using your Coinbase account, right now we're actively developing a wallet.fund function that'll pull money from your Coinbase account to fund this agent. If you're surfacing it directly to your users, and for some reason you want your users to interact with the agent, you can use the new Coinbase on-ramp that has an Apple Pay integration to deposit up to $500 in USDC completely fee-free and without any KYC. So it's quite literally as simple as your users clicking a link, double tapping their button to get their Apple Pay working, and then have their agent have USDC immediately in their wallet ready for transfer.
And with regards to withdrawal, I can easily withdraw to whatever wallet address I want to, or move the funds accordingly, right?
Absolutely. I could tell it right now to transfer 0.001 ETH to Lincoln.base.eth. and it'll go off and do this for us.
Hmm. Got it. Okay, so that's easy because I have a Coinbase wallet and I have an address just like that. So I could just easily, let's say the bot does some work, people tip it or it makes some money, whatever it is, I can withdraw the funds on a weekly basis or set it to do that maybe automatically.
Absolutely. As soon as it gets the funds, you could have it send them straight to you. We're actually working with one of our builders who is making a way to directly use this within your Coinbase Wallet mobile app. It uses a XMTP messaging standard to allow you to interact directly with your agent, just like you would message another wallet. So there's a lot of really interesting implications. And I think this is truly the way we get a billion people using crypto. You can just tell your agent to go off and do something and it'll do it for you. You don't have to know anything about DeFi front ends, anything about specific tokens. All of this is completely abstracted away and just put into natural language.
Hmm.
Tony, you remember IF Triple T? I think they're still around where you kind of like set a lot of conditions and it kind of automates things based on scripts. Imagine that,
Oh yeah.
but powered by AI and crypto and all through natural language, right? You don't have to go in and like select the plus sign or the minus sign. You just basically say, here's what I want, here are the conditions. And this is smart enough to basically do that for you on an automated basis, right? And the natural language piece is really the exciting thing here because it does open up many opportunities for anyone to engage on chain and do things on chain without having to know exactly what to tell some a smart contract to do.
Hmm. And you just confirm you were mentioning if this then that, right? That
Yeah,
platform.
exactly. Yeah, if this then that, yeah, FTTT. It's like the next generation version of that, right?
Yeah.
In a much more natural way.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Question about how you can get this agent or this persona of mine, this GPT version of me, um, to earn. So, for example, if it's something on Twitter, can I have it mention the wallet address? If you'd like to tip this account, you can send funds to this wallet address.
Yeah, totally. Right here where it says, I'm taking Tony's job, we could replace this with your address or the agent's address or whatever you could possibly want there. I think this would be a great way to incentivize more, content creator, consumer interactions and relationships and start to take this concept of parasocial online relationships and make them much more close and real.
Hmm. And you mentioned ETH. So ETH is one of the currencies that can be used. I think USDC as well. Is there anything else that can be used?
Literally any asset or token that's on Base, Ethereum mainnet, Arbitrum, or Polygon can easily be held and interacted with by the agents. We're planning to expand to more networks in the future. And we're also offering completely free USDC sends from your wallets on Base specifically. So no need if you're just sending USDC back and forth to have ETH to pay for transaction fees. We'll handle all of that for you.
Oh, that's great. This is really fascinating. I'm just thinking the smoke signals that the wheels are turning in my head right now. The cool things I could do as a creator. Um, and so it's pretty much just as you mentioned, going to Replit and copying the the template, so to speak, that you guys have available and launching this, right?
Yeah, exactly. And anyone who's building with Replit, they have a pro subscription as well, which gives you access to their AI tools, which you can use to build out new features. We have hundreds of free pro Replit subscriptions that we're giving to builders within the CDP ecosystem. So if you can show us that you're interested in building with us, we're going to support you as much as we can with this agent, with Replit subscriptions, with any sort of white glove support you might need to build out whatever you want.
Hmm. Are there plans, just curious, to take this interface and put it into a more, let's say, user-friendly GUI interface?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, we're focusing specifically on this developer product as we get some really good information and insights from crypto developers and AI developers on what works, what doesn't, how we can improve. And once we have that all perfect, or at least in a good enough state to where we think that the end user will enjoy it, we can start to look into integrating that into various different products. All of those plans are very TBD, and there are some teams external to Coinbase that are already certainly working on this. So it's been very exciting to see the growth of these agents, not just as a tool for speculation, but also for improving how everyone uses crypto in their day-to-day lives, making it as simple as possible to build them, host them, and interact with them.
Mm.
And I think there was a note yesterday, Tony, that Vitalik put out about his views that we're shifting from a code-based world to one where you just kind of tell it what you want, right? Kind of point and click. This reminds me of dating myself here, but I took an HTML course in college way back then. And then since then, I think we've had advancements there where, you had things set up, we just kind of replace the copy, right? And everything's kind of templatized for you. I think that's what we're at now with Replit. And I think, very soon we're going to get to a stage where, similar to how Squarespace or Wix works, you just have to basically have a vision for what you want it to do and what you want it to look like, and it'll get done. So imagine a world where, all the code that you saw goes away, and it's basically an interface that says, tell me what you want, and I'll build it for you.
Mm. Yeah, for sure. Uh, this is really cool. And then I noticed here that it uses OpenAI mainly. Are you planning to expand to other AI agents or AI services?
Great question. It's fully model agnostic right now. So we have OpenAI in here by default, but say you want to use Claude, Llama, whatever you could possibly want, XAI, it's all in here and ready for you to use. The only thing you have to do is change a couple of lines of code. And like I said, we wanted to make this easy. So quite literally just tell Claude, LLM, whatever thing of your choice, maybe the Replit agent that you want to change the AI that's being used, it'll do that for you.
Mm. Um, Anything else you want to highlight? Maybe what you have on the roadmap, around this type of initiative?
Yeah, absolutely. So always looking to expand to more networks, make it simpler for users to get started with it, expand our AI tooling such that anyone can build out these agents, and really pushing hard on just the go-to-market side to make sure that everyone knows that Coinbase is now in the business of AI agents and that we're making sure that every AI agent deserves and has access to a wallet.
And Tony, one thing I'll add is just try it out. It does
Mm.
look intimidating at first in terms of the language and the fact that it looks like a development environment. But when you get in there and you just kind of try it out, you'd be surprised how easy and powerful it is. And like you said, like earlier, you said your wheels are spinning. It's going to happen when you start digging into this. You're like, oh, wait a minute, I can go out there and do this. And the beauty is if you don't know how to do something, you just ask GPT and it'll actually help you do that.
Mm.
So all the tools are there for exploration. And, if there's anything, one takeaway from everything that we've said is go try it, go build it, right? And see what happens. And I think that's the beauty of what we're doing here is it's just full of innovation and kind of kickstart things. You just got to try building it yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great tip. And um, it's pretty intuitive from what I've seen here, and I think after this I'm going to start playing with it. But this is really great, guys. I love it, and I'm going to try to expand GPT Tony and see how we can have it make me videos, tweet, and so forth. And I can't wait for other creators to try this out. I'm going to share it with the creator network that I'm a part of. So this is really cool.
Amazing. And if you or any of your audience ever needs any help with these agents, I'm always very willing to provide whatever support I can. Our team of engineers is incredibly active in our Discord, answering any questions that people have. We truly want to make this as easy as possible. Maybe it's not just there yet, but we'll hold your hand and guide you to where you need to go.
Awesome. Lincoln, Dan, amazing stuff. I love this. And like I said, I'm going to be using it for and trying out different things. But thank you so much for joining me and showing us how to use this.
Great to be here. Thanks for
Absolutely.
having us, Tony.